With advances in green technology moving forward rapidly and affecting nearly every aspect of our lives, we may find ourselves wondering what is in the future. How will our homes be different in years to come? What will our cars be like? This is the Honda Fit EV, a battery electric vehicle arriving at a residential home of the future. The Fit EV parks conveniently in the garage, where it is recharged while not in use. The electrical charge comes directly from the house. The vehicle has become an integral part of household operations. Today, we'll get a glimpse into the not-so-distant future by visiting this model home and vehicle with zero carbon footprint. See what's in store for you, your family, and community here on this special edition of Think Green. This is the Honda Smart Home in Davis, California, on the University of California campus. It's a 2,000 square foot house that's a showcase for environmental innovation and renewable energy. It's a living space where new technologies demonstrate a vision for sustainable zero-carbon living and personal mobility.
The purpose of the Honda Smart Home project was to think about a vision for a net zero carbon lifestyle, which includes your transportation and also your home.
Michael Koenig is the Honda Smart Home project leader and has been involved with this home since its conception.
For the average person is going to eliminate over 40% of your greenhouse gas footprint.
The solar panels on the top of the roof of this home produce as much energy or more on an annual basis than is consumed by the house and the Honda Fit EV.
Electrified vehicles, battery electric vehicles, hybrid electric vehicles, and solar panels are great technologies that we really want to see continue to grow in the future. But in order for them to achieve mass adoption, we really need to improve the way that these technologies communicate with themselves and also with the electrical grid.
The Honda Smart Home uses an energy management system that coordinates all energy loads internally and works with the electricity grid.
The home energy management system will choose the most carbon-efficient means to charge the Honda Fit EV.
Ryan Hardy is the manager of environmental business development at American Honda.
Generally, when the sun is shining and the solar panels are generating electricity, the best use of that solar electricity is to charge the car if it's plugged in, or to store in the battery that's here, or to use in the electric loads of the house on site.
The next best use of solar electricity is to feed it back to the electrical grid.
In general, we want to avoid feeding the solar back to the grid because there are losses associated with that. We have to convert it back to AC electricity, so there's some loss of conversion back there. As well, the distribution system on the electric grid has losses associated with it.
The first purpose of the energy management system is to reduce the amount of energy that's used. And so the electric vehicle uses what's called DC, direct current, in its batteries. And the solar panels, you create DC. And so it's most efficient if we can use that DC to charge the car directly.
The home energy management system will perform detailed calculations like measuring the sunshine and understanding how much electricity is needed, both for the Fit EV and the storage battery. And it will decide what the most carbon-efficient ways of charging the electric vehicle will be.
We can use more of the electricity that's generated on the solar panels of the Honda Smart Home and reduce the total losses, so we can drive more miles out of the same amount of sunshine.
Every aspect of the Honda Smart Home is sustainable or environmentally responsible, including the materials used in the construction of the home. Coming up, we'll take an in-depth look inside the Honda Smart Home and learn how the interior is designed with an eye to sustainability. Think Green is visiting the Honda Smart Home in Davis, California, a 2,000 square foot net zero electric home of the future. This is a showcase for environmental innovation and renewable energy. From the materials and processes used for constructing the home to the appliances and furnishings inside, environment and sustainability are top priority considerations.
During the construction process, we were very cognizant about the materials that went into it. So we used 100% of the lumber for the structure and the siding and all of the interior. All of the lumber that went into this house is third-party certified to be sustainable.
Third-party certification means that all lumber is sustainably harvested to ensure that the forest environment stays healthy for years to come. Once a home is built to green standards using environmentally responsible and sustainable materials, there are other elements that affect the footprint. What goes inside the house?
One of the other things to consider in your home building materials is the energy or the carbon footprint that goes into those materials. So for example, the concrete floors that we have in this house are a polished concrete, and that concrete is actually made up of cement and rocks and water and sand. And usually that, people use the words concrete and cement interchangeably, but actually the cement is just one component of the concrete. And concrete is this great building material, but it has a pretty high carbon footprint because that cement has a very high carbon footprint. So these polished concrete floors, all of that cement is actually 50% of it is replaced with a naturally occurring volcanic ash that has a very, very low carbon footprint.
The floor is not the only thing leaving a small carbon footprint. This is interior designer Kristen Gong. She's worked on the sustainable design of this home.
A homeowner wants to think about their own priorities when they think about what sustainable and green means to them. Does it mean, is it durable? Does it have great indoor air quality, good wood story, a good human story? Is it local and supports their community? It's very challenging to find products or furniture that fit every single goal, so it's really important to think about the whole story when making selections.
The Honda Smart Home's general aesthetic is very clean and modern, showcasing the sustainable and energy-efficient qualities, which will certainly be appealing to a wide range of people.
It was super important that we pick furniture and materials that had an incredible green story. The sofa in particular is really a showpiece of the home because sofas are sort of notorious for being not green or not sustainable, and this one in particular has an incredible story behind it. Besides being made in Southern California, which is local to the project, it has organic fabric, recycled steel springs, third-party certified wood frame and legs, and the filler is actually natural latex foam filler. It's a really compelling story in a product that very commonly has a lot more chemicals and a lot of non-natural materials as well.
The appliances are carefully selected with sustainability in mind, but also appealing to the average homeowner. Most products in this home are readily available.
The cooktop in particular is an induction cooktop. It is a really fantastic technology that's actually been around for a lot of years, but is becoming more and more available and affordable. So the idea behind it generally is that it has a reaction with the pot that sits on top of it and heats the pot through the reaction so that the surface is not actually hot to anything except that pot. And then it's very energy efficient. It boils water so much more quickly than any traditional method of cooking.
The paint for this home has zero volatile organic compound, or VOC, which helps to keep a clean and healthy environment.
It's not going to leach off gases and different smells into the air, which improves the indoor air quality. The palette was selected to be really clean and modern and have a bright feel inside.
By incorporating components in the home that are energy efficient and sustainable, a house is still not a net zero home. It is green and reduces drain on the infrastructure. But how can we take it a step further to have a house with virtually no carbon footprint? When the Think Green Special Edition returns, we'll look at how an experimental ground source heat pump serves as part of the Honda Smart Home's HVAC system, and how ultimately it contributes to reducing a home's carbon footprint. Don't go away. Think Green is visiting the Honda Smart Home in Davis, California to see how newer technologies are being used for a zero carbon footprint lifestyle.
During occupancy, of course, we're concerned about the energy that's used. There's a high priority on energy, but one of the other things you really need to focus on is the water use. So all of the fixtures in the house are very low water use. The faucets are able to turn off automatically if you leave the water running too long.
All of the outside landscaping is xeriscaped. Using native plants that are appropriate for the Davis climate helps reduce water consumption.
We actually water them using gray water. And gray water is the water that comes out of your bathtubs, your bathroom sinks, and your laundry machine. All of that water can be reused with just simple filtering. We can reuse that water and we can use it to irrigate all of the plants outside.
Part of the home's design includes an HVAC system that uses less than half of the electricity compared to similar-sized homes in the area. This is accomplished with something called a ground source heat pump.
One of the interesting comfort concepts that we've included in this home is to utilize radiant systems for both heating and cooling in the space.
Jonathan Woolley is an associate research engineer at the Western Cooling Efficiency Center here at UC Davis.
Not only are they more efficient in distributing heat and cooling throughout the house, but they affect human comfort in a different way.
By heating the occupants with radiant heat, the air can remain cooler for a more comfortable environment.
A conventional air conditioner, with which most people are familiar with, is a heat pump. And we're utilizing the same general technology concept here. What's special about the heat pump we're utilizing is that it's reversible and multifunction. We can use that heat pump to provide both cooling and heating. We take the waste heat and we dump it into the ground. And so we've installed a series of geothermal heat exchangers. We're able to extract heat from the ground and deliver it into the space using a very efficient heat pump process.
In most residential constructions, ductwork leaks significantly.
In all of the systems that I've tested, I've never found a ductwork system that leaks by less than 10%, and I've found plenty that leak by more than 40 or 50%.
With hydronic distribution, none of that heat leaks into the unconditioned space.
We circulate heated or cooled water directly into the building mass in order to maintain comfort in the living environment.
Ceiling fans are installed throughout the house to help increase the cooling capacity for a short period of time.
If you come in from outside and it's hot, and you want to be comfortable immediately because you're a little bit sweaty, your metabolic rate is really high, you can switch these ceiling fans on and they'll move a lot of air really quickly.
The Honda Smart Home uses different ways to reduce waste heat. One of the technologies used is called drain water heat recovery.
As hot drain water from our showers and our tub and our sinks upstairs drains down and towards the gray water system, we take the cold water that's coming in to refill our domestic hot water tank and run it through a counterflow heat exchanger. It picks up a significant amount of the heat that would otherwise just be going straight out to the sewer.
A standard air conditioner produces cold air while simultaneously dumping hot air into the environment, causing wasted heat.
The way we've designed this system, we actually have the opportunity when we're cooling the house to capture some of that waste heat and put it directly into our domestic hot water storage so we don't have to heat water as much for our showers and other domestic uses.
Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the energy-efficient lighting in the Honda Smart Home and how it ties in with the occupant's well-being. Another interesting feature of the Honda Smart Home is the architecture. The stylish look is more than just for aesthetics, but serves a larger purpose. It actually contributes to the comfort levels inside the house. In other words, the architecture becomes part of the heating and cooling system, working in conjunction with the ground source heat pump.
From an energy efficiency viewpoint, we first start with the outer shell, the walls, the windows, the doors, and how can we insulate that and how can we keep the conditioned air inside the house as much as possible. And how can we site that house on the lot so that it has as much free heating and cooling as possible? So with this house, in order to make it work as a system, what we've done is we've located, of course, with this large south-facing roof that lets us put solar panels on, but it also lets us put these windows on the south wall. And these windows are specially tuned so that in the wintertime, they harvest a lot of solar energy and keep the house naturally warm without having to run the mechanical equipment.
The overhangs were built to be exactly the right size, so the windows stay shaded as much as possible during the summertime.
And in the summertime, when it gets very hot here in Davis, we don't have any additional air conditioning loads because of the solar exposure on the south side.
While all the mechanical, electrical, and low environmental impact elements have come together to create a zero carbon footprint house, what about the health and well-being of the occupants?
The home was designed using a balanced combination of market available technologies and the understanding of how light affects human health at this current time.
Kelly Cunningham is the Outreach Director at the California Lighting Technology Center at UC Davis.
The lighting design for the Honda Smart Home took into consideration the circadian health of the resident. Then you may ask, what is circadian health in relationship to light? Well, the sun has a path across the sky every day where it changes color temperature, where it has different content in the light. It affects us in very interesting ways, ways that contemporary scientists are still looking for answers.
Installed throughout the house are color-shifting luminaries set to the schedule of the residents.
In the morning, it's a warm light. In the middle of the day, a cool, and then warm again in the evening. One of the things that we're really trying to do is to filter out the presence of blue light in the evening, which can impact the residents' ability to unwind and get to sleep when it's time.
The system recognizes what time of day it is by looking at a pre-programmed schedule.
The full calendar is scheduled in, sunrise and sunset, and it will track sunrise and sunset throughout the year and present the right lighting scenes for the right time of day.
All lights in this home are light-emitting diodes, better known as LEDs. The majority of LEDs are integrated LED luminaires.
That means you can't change out the bulb. There's nothing to change. They're integrated into the structure and design of the luminaire. The term to use in lighting is they're very efficacious. More lumens per watt.
Pathway lights have been installed in the home, which are designed to guide the resident at night.
They are amber in color. It doesn't interrupt our dark adapted eye. That allows us to see effectively in the dark. If there were white light, it would take 5 to 10 minutes for our eyes to return to a dark adapted state, and that's when a lot of trip and falls can happen in the home.
Today, we've had a glimpse into the future, visiting the Honda Smart Home in Davis, California. Every aspect of this house, from its construction to daily operation, provides a comfortable living space and a vehicle that is integrated into that living space. All the components add up to a reduced impact on the environment and increased sustainability. The result, a net zero carbon lifestyle for the entire family. A model for the future? We say it should be.
Honda is striving to be a company that society wants to exist, and so by developing these low carbon or zero carbon technologies, it's not just about the transportation. We want to be able to provide solutions to the future in order for society to meet its long-term goals.
For more information, visit HondaSmartHome.com. To see this show again, go to designingspaces.tv and click the Think Green section.
For more information about anything you've seen on today's show or to find out how to be part of the show, log on to designingspaces.tv. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/dspacestv. Or friend us on Facebook. Type in the words Designing Spaces. Connect with us on Pinterest to follow all of our design ideas and share yours with us. You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.